And so I know I asked this one before, but what are your top 5 cloud certifications that you would recommend that somebody get as a cloud professional?
I think you hit on a lot of them. AWS, from a GRC perspective, I think both of their associate architects, right? Because it's going to tell you the best practices and best breed. Both of those for Azure and AWS, kind of those are big two. I would kind of pick up Google, but I'm not super big on Google fan. And two is if you're a developer, both of those has a developer. If you're more of a sysop guy, then both of those have sysops, and both of those have security certification. So that's probably about 6. So those are kind of the bigger ones. And two is, and you know this two is from a cloud perspective, but two, if you're a senior, which I need to get is the CISP or the CISSA. Because if you're getting remote work, if you don't have that, I don't think you're getting past the ATS scanner now because so many people are applying. So if you're at the senior level, but from the cloud, I think those are the two big ones, and I would just focus on really Azure and AWS.
Okay.
Google's getting better. Shout out to my man. I interviewed one of my partners just worked for Oracle over there. Google was lacking that federal compliance. I mean, I was arguing with some guys. I'm like, oh, our security is much better. It is, but if I can't if I can't check off this FedRAMP box, it don't matter. They wasn't doing FIPS 140-3. I'm like, dude,
Right.
I understand it's outdated. I understand it's slow, and I understand it costs too much. But if you're not doing it, I can't put our workload on your cloud. So I was arguing with these guys for like 3 or 4 months. Then
Wow.
I think somebody got him because I hope I didn't get him fired. He kind of disappeared. I was like, dude, I'm not disagreeing with you, but for fair, I need to be able to collect this box. If I can't tick this box, we can't put our workload on there.
Right.
So those they were young and they were super brilliant, but I'm like, it's cool, but if I can't check this box, I don't give a shit how smart you are. So
Right.
so we were going back and forth, but no, I think those are really the big two, and I think really, I think Azure is going to pass AWS probably in the next 5 years. So,
Azure is gonna pass AWS in the
oh,
next.
easy. Yeah. The reason why is too is Azure gives you Active Directory, AFDS, and everybody's doing that, and the Office 365. And I sent you the 25 things you get on your E2 license that you can do to do some GRC. All those programs you get with your E2 license, and most people have that. So they give
Yeah,
you a lot.
appreciate that.
I don't think it's free, but they give you a lot of stuff to work with. And the other part too that Azure is smart. AWS is in competition with a lot of people. Like they did Prime. Netflix was paying them like $40 million a month. If I'm paying you $40 million a month, you can't spin up a service and be in competition with me. So I think they do that in a lot of their service. Same thing with Whole Foods.
Right.
Kroger's was spending like $20 million a month. Like, dude, I'm not paying you, and you're gonna do a grocery against me. They got that in a lot of products, man. So I think a lot of people are gonna switch for Azure, and I think too, Azure's got those foundational services. Once again, email, Office 365, and Active Directory. Now I think a lot of people are gonna be multi-cloud, but I think those two things are gonna flip it. Now, don't get me wrong, AWS is not going anywhere. I think AWS, from a development perspective, I think they got the developer's life, but that corporate enterprise stuff, Microsoft's got that in and out, though, especially once again with the email and Active Directory, and a lot of people running that on prem.
Right. I know that AWS has them beat on. Correct me if I'm wrong. On right now on availability zones. Right.
They do. But but Microsoft got infinite money. They catching up, right? It's just a time thing. And two is, once again, they got to be on availability, but I don't need all them zones, man. I'm trying to do. They got stuff in Brazil and Japan, and I just need a couple things in the United States, man. So, but if you're a global company now, I think. But if I'm just a base, especially if I'm a government company, I got to be in CONUS. And well, I guess the U.S. repositories is a new term. I'm not trying to go out to the United States. So, but no, you're right with that. But once again, I just think, especially from mid-level, I just think Azure, once again, with that Active Directory and Office 365, that's an easy lift and shift, and that's a lot of stuff that kind of gets you up and running.